Thanks for checking out our retreat budget resource today. This document is a great tool for planners in the early stages of planning, as it helps in making informed decisions on what venue and extra activities they can afford. You'll notice the first sheet in this document has already had its numbers filled in. This is just an example to help give you an idea of how the sheet actually works. If you go down to the bottom of the page, you'll see a tab that says Blank Retreat Budget. You want to click on that and it will open up the same sheet as before, except this time all of your numbers are completely empty. Notice the text to the right of the event cost sheet. These are basic instructions and tips for helping you fill it out. The colored cells are meant to represent what should go in each cell. Blue is your cost, yellow is your quantity, and then the orange, it represents the formulas. You will only be putting numbers in the blue and yellow cells. So in order to really see how this budget sheet works, we'll go through an example together. Say you are going to be hosting a men's retreat with 200 guests. The first line of the sheet says retreat package. This is the cost given on your contract. So we will put $150 as your rate in the first blue cell. And then 200 people in the yellow cell as your attendees. And once you hit enter in the yellow cell, you will see the numbers start to fill out throughout the sheet. These are just the formulas beginning to configure your cost. So the next item that we have on our list is team building. Most Christian Retreat Network properties feature team building programs. Ask your group accounts rep what options are available at your host property if you are interested in such programs. Let's say that your group has 100 men who want to do a team building program for $20 each. So that will be a total of $2,000. The next item that we see is non-contracted food and beverage, and we can go ahead and leave that blank, and you don't need to worry about that because that refers to food purchased outside of the dining package, and the men in your retreat will only be eating 3 buffet-style meals a day. The next item that we see throughout here, those items are additional costs for staffing. And we won't need a lifeguard in our case because your men aren't interested in swimming at all, but they may want to, be a little adventurous and do a rock climbing activity. So belayers are the rock climbing staff in this instance, and their rate is $30 for 2 hours. Your men also don't have to worry about beachfront because they won't be swimming, and all AV equipment in terms of rental fees will be completely covered since all AV equipment at our properties is complimentary. So we can leave all of those cells blank. So that completes the first section of our sheet, which is the facility cost. And this number reflects only what will need to be paid to the venue. And then down here we have the total cost, the cost per attendee with and without team building. So you can see all of those numbers there. However, we know that there are generally other expenses involved in an event. That's why we have this next section here titled Program Items. Since all the guys in your group can drive, your rate of travel will be 0 because they can drive themselves. However, what type of retreat isn't memorable without a t-shirt? So we have t-shirts, and those are going at $10 each. And you have 200 guests there. So those totals are complete. Next, we have our worship team, and you have to have one of those because what type of retreat isn't fun without a praise and worship team? That will cost you $1,000. You also have a keynote speaker, which is a total of $300. And I'm putting in 1 in the quantity because those are flat rate fees that you have there. So if we skip down to decorations, that'll be $100 for your event. So that gives you a 100 in your total column. And we can't skip out on marketing because half of our attendees wouldn't have even shown up without those fancy flyers and emails that you sent out. So that'll cost us $75. And in terms of, like, you have keynote speaker, 2, 3, band stage sets, you can go ahead and delete those rows entirely, or change out how you want to label them. If you have, if you want to take decorations and label that with something else, you can do that as well. And if you go ahead and delete or change whatever you do, all of your formulas will adjust accordingly. So the total cost down here is a better reflection of what you should charge guest. So it incorporates all costs of the event and not just the venue. So remember that this is a budget that is designed to help your organization break even. We know that many organizations receive a grant or subsidize a portion of their guest stay. That's why we have added this information down here. So for your men's retreat, we will have the organization subsidy at $1,000 and put it as a quality of 1 for your flat rate. This could be the amount we raised for a rummage sale or any other type of fundraising that we did. There is no premium events registration fee in this instance either. As an early bird registration special, though, the first 10 registrants got half the price taken off of their rates. So we will put that in the comp ed or in the comped retreat packages line here. If the whole package was covered, we would leave it blank, but since it's half, we need to put in how much they will be paying. In this case, we will need to look at the total cost per attendee, which is $177.68. Half of this is roughly $88, so we can put 88 down here in that box. Now, we also have your quantity is 10 people, since your first 10 registrants are getting that incentive there. And then to kind of wrap that up, there is no price difference for staff, so we will leave that last row 0. The participant registration fee in the per person column is what you need to charge guests in order to break even. So that's that item there. Therefore, you will have to charge them $177.13 for everyone in your group but the first 10 people who have the early bird special. The total income and total cost cells should match exactly. So if we look here as well as here, we can see that they do. So that is it for our budget retreat sheet here. We hope that you find this information as a useful tool. As we know, calculating a budget isn't always easy. If you need assistance planning your retreat budget, please contact our retreat planners. We would be happy to assist you in this area.